Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be reviewing the Conair fabric steamer or garment steamer. Some people call it garment steamer. The GS59 model. It is called Steam and Press with Turbo. And yep, this is what it looks like. This is the box. I've never used this before. I literally only opened the box just to take a peek in it, so I actually have not even taken the contents out. I have never used it. So this is going to be a first time look at how easy it is to use and just my overall thoughts on what it's like to use it. So I was gonna make this purchase, and because I don't like to iron and if you have something like a curtain or bedspread, those fabrics tend to be very large and you don't want to stand there ironing. So I purchased this for that, but seeing as I generally do not like to iron, I'm sure I will be using this for my regular clothes, and that is why I have two different pieces of clothing that I will be testing this on. My reason for purchasing this steamer is that I want a steamer that does not spit out water at the fabric, and there's a lot of steamers out there that does that, and I wanted something that would just give me steam and steam only, where I don't have to then wait for the clothes to dry because it spits out water. So that's what I'm hoping to get from this. I'm also hoping that this steamer will work super fast. What it looks like inside. I have my camera in one hand, so I'm trying to do this with just one hand. At least for now. It's not going to be throughout the video, but just, for the box opening. So, the item is actually a lot bigger than I thought. It's also quite heavy. I guess that is the 3-in-1 attachment that comes with it. And we can see that it has the instruction manual. Just stuff for you to register your item for warranty, I guess. I never get around to doing these, but I will take a look at this later. If you're interested, you can do that. It comes in the box. It has quite a long cord, so I like that. Don't mind my nails. I am giving my nails a break, so that's why it looks raggedy. Ignore them. I will read this manual later. I'm one of those people that actually read manuals, so even though I tossed it aside, I did pick it back up to read it before operating this steamer. These are optional attachments. You don't have to use them when you use the steamer. Okay, to the fun part. So this is the fabric. I just dragged this fabric out of the bottom of a pile of clothes from somewhere, so it's super wrinkled, and it wrinkles easily, and it's very soft fabric. I'm referring to the shirt here, okay, and then the pants is denim. It's quite stiff. It has some cuts on it, and it's not ripped, it just has like cuts down the front, and you can hear from the sound that it's like thick fabric. It's nothing like the previous one. I just wanted to try it on one soft fabric and one thin fabric and one thick fabric to see how it works. This bigger one is the silicone band. The one that looks like a letter is the fabric spacer, and this brush is the bristle brush, and you attach them based on whether or not you need them. Okay, so this is a close-up look of the actual steamer. It is quite large. It is not a small thing that fits in the palm of your hand. I don't know why I thought it was small, but yeah, and it's a little bit weighty. It's not super lightweight. I like the design. It's just a very sleek design. The cord there is movable. It has like a ball thing at the end where you're able to move the cord so it's not stiff, which is good because then the cord does not fray in that corner when you're moving it around. That's what the bottom looks like. This is the tank that holds the water. I'm not sure how much water it holds yet at this point, but I'm gonna find out before I use it when I add water in. And then those are the settings. It says right on the box that there are 5 settings. There is a steam button that you push when you want steam, and then you push the settings button to choose what settings you want. These are the details that are at the bottom of the steamer head. And this is the nozzle part of the steamer. The holes look pretty small, so I don't expect that it will spurt out water like I've seen some steamers do. I've seen some steamers with circles, like the holes are actual circles. It's more likely to spurt out water, but these holes are very small. Okay, so the silicone band holds the other attachments, and this is how you slide it in. So you attach the silicone band to the steamer, and then you attach either the fabric spacer if you want to get in between corners of a fabric, or you can attach the bristle brush if you like to brush the item that you are steaming. And it attaches like so. But I believe that the silicone band, the larger one, should be attached to the steamer first. I was just checking to see how easy it is to slide those other attachments on to the silicone band. Okay, so this is the steamer. I am trying to attach the silicone band to the steamer. I was thinking this just snaps on, but I don't think that's the way. It doesn't just snap on. I guess there's a trick to how you have to attach this. Okay, so I went away for like 3.5 months and came back. I'm just kidding. No, I had to go off camera to figure out how this goes on. So yeah, that notch over there just fits snugly into the protrusion that's on the silicone band. I don't know why I didn't figure that out. But yeah, once you figure it out, it's super easy. It just goes on very easily. I was struggling with it at first. Once it's on, it's on. It doesn't like come off or anything. It fits on there very nicely. I'm just using the fabric spacer as a pointer so you know where I'm reading. But I'm just going to give a super quick read of the instructions. So it says fill water reservoir with distilled water. Distilled water? I don't have distilled water. Well, I'll use filtered water. That should be okay, I think. And then plug unit into electrical outlet. Press the on-off button to turn steamer on. The blue ready light will illuminate and begin blinking. Allow 40 seconds for the unit to warm up. The appliance is ready to use when the ready light stops blinking and remains solid. And you may hear a small tapping noise during the heat up process. This is normal. So if you purchase a steamer, you hear weird tapping noise, don't return it. It's according to this, there should be a tapping noise. And there are 5 steam settings. Press the setting button repeatedly until you reach your desired setting. 1 red light indicates the minimum steam rate for use on delicate fabrics. 5 red lights indicate turbo boost. setting for use on thicker fabrics and heavily wrinkled articles. Okay, so I guess the bottom setting should be okay for the pink shirt because it's very light and very thin fabric. And then I would need to use a turbo boost for the denim. And then press steam button to release the flow of steam. To stop the flow of steam, depress the steam button. When first using the device, test on an old cloth as there may be sediment left from the manufacturing process transportation. Okay, and then press on off button to turn unit off. Unplug device when not in use. Okay. So this has a built-in creaser at the top of the unit. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Hey guys, so I actually had no idea that there was a creaser part on this steamer. I just noticed it when I started to read the manual, and this is one of the reasons why it's good to read manuals. But yes, there is this creaser. As you can see, steam comes from that opening at the top, and the two lines on the white plastic part that I'm lifting, that is where your crease will form, and the steam comes out from that part at the same time that it comes out from the regular nozzle part. So when you're using the creaser, it's important not to point the nozzle towards yourself or towards your face. Okay, so let's get started using this, and let's see how easy it is to use. So this is the water compartment. It's quite easy to open. There's a rubber stopper that's used to hold the water so it doesn't spill out. The opening is quite small. Yeah. I mean, there's no electrical part attached to this tank, so you can just hold it under maybe filtered water and just fill it up, I guess. If you can see the water in the tank, I just filled it and it is exactly 1 cup. I measured it. So I just plugged it in, and I'm going to time the length of time that it takes to be ready. I just started the timer. According to the manual, it should take 40 seconds for it to heat up enough for you to use it. And we know it's ready when that blinking blue light turns a solid blue. It's currently at the highest setting, so I brought it down to the lowest setting because I'm starting with the pink shirt, and it's a lightweight shirt, so I don't need to use it at the highest one. So just press steam. I guess that was the rattling noise that we're talking about. I was a little worried about my sofa. I knew I should not be doing this so close to my sofa. And that's why I'm holding the fabric away from from the sofa. I should have just placed something else down and then done this on top of it. I don't know why. I was feeling too lazy to go back and get like a towel or something. But yeah, I do not want steam directly on my sofa because I don't know what would happen. But as you can see, it's working just fine. But I decided to use a pillow as cushion to place the fabric on top so that I can do it properly. You literally just need to do one pass and it looks like the shirt was ironed, which is what I was hoping for. I am changing the setting to the very lowest to see if it'll work just as well. This time I'm going to use it on the sleeve. You notice that I'm not really straightening the fabric while placing it down. I'm just literally putting it down and using the steamer on top of it, because normally you would kind of stretch it out a little bit before applying the steamer to avoid folds, but I'm just literally just placing it down and using the steamer to see if it'll work, and it's working really well. If I weren't in an awkward position and I had the fabric on a hanger or on an ironing board, I'm sure it'll work a lot faster. Also, notice that the steamer isn't spitting out water, which is the one thing that I dread from steamers. Also, the water tank does not spill water no matter what angle I hold the steamer, and the tank did not accidentally disengage while I was using it, which are all pluses. Now I'm doing the denim. The setting is still at the very lowest, so as you can see, we're not getting that ironed out look. I already know that I'm going to need the turbo setting for the denim, but I'm going to put it to the middle somewhere and see if I'll see an improvement. While I do see an improvement, it's just so minute that it's not worth using it at this setting, because you're going to have to do way too many passes and probably add more water and then do the whole process. It's not ideal. So I'm going to switch it to the turbo setting and see if I can achieve the result I'm looking for. So when you use the turbo, it appears that you'd have to do slower passes and you have to really press down on the fabric for it to get the more ironed out look. But even then, it's still not as smooth as the thinner fabric. It doesn't help that the cushions are so soft that even when you press down on it, you're not adding enough pressure to actually straighten it because of the softness of the cushion. So I'll advise that you use a harder surface like an ironing board. And you have to do slower passes, don't do super fast passes, and maybe longer strokes instead of super short strokes that I'm doing here. So yeah, you will achieve better results. I'm just starting off the seam while leaving the steamer on so that I can take a look at the fabric. I've got half a tank of water left. This is the side that I've done. It still has some lines and some rumples. So I'm going to do the other side and see if I can achieve a better result. So this is what I've done so far. I can see the obvious difference now that I did longer, slower passes, and I pressed the steamer down on the fabric. So yeah, you're gonna need a little bit of patience if you're gonna do this on denim and want to have that ironed out look. It could look more ironed out if I used an actual clothes iron, but I mean, this is tight pants, so it's gonna stretch out across the skin anyway. and I really do like the result that I'm getting from this. I'm going to compare it later to the very lower part of the pants leg, the part that I have not steamed, so you can see the difference. I decided to use the bristle brush on the steamer, on turbo, on the denim to see what that looks like. All right, guys, looks like we have a winning combination here. So, if you want to do thicker fabric like denim, you are going to have to use the brush. It is so much faster. The result is very obvious, and you definitely want to use that. So, I will be leaving the brush on whenever I do the denim. I'm going to try the same thing with the thinner fabric to see if I need to use a brush as well and if I can get better results and faster results. That way I can just leave the brush on and not even take it off of the steamer at all. Okay, so I can tell that the brush is not necessary with thinner fabrics. It creates a sort of pull on the fabric that's not necessary, and it overly stretches the fabric. Did you see that? So yeah, when you're doing thinner fabrics, you don't need to do the brush if it's not absolutely necessary. Like if there are no intricate designs that you're trying to get in between and stretch out, then you don't need to use the brush. I will not be using the brush with my thinner fabric here, but I will use it with the denim. Alright, so let's see if we can make a crease on this denim using the crease maker. I'm just gonna fold it at a random spot and see if I can create a crease. We don't usually do this when we iron. Obviously, clothes have we put the creases around the seams, not like in the middle of the pants the way I'm doing. But this is just to test out the crease or part. Okay, so those two lines on the white plastic is where your crease is going to be. So I'm going to try to align it the way that it says in the manual. And then turn on the steamer and see how it works. Remember that the nozzle should be pointed away from you because the steam will continue to come out of the nozzle part. And yep, I learned very, very fast that when you put your fabric over the nozzle, the steam have nowhere else to escape but in the opening where your fingers are, and oh my god, it was really burning. So I would say either wear gloves or do not use this to make a crease. By the time I was done, I was able to get it to make a crease, but it was just so tricky and not the most convenient way to maneuver your fabric. Your fingers will be too close to the seam, and it's just, yeah, I would just say you can create a crease using the brush and the steamer the regular way just by going down the normal way like I did previously in the previous clip when I was steaming like normal. That can also create a crease. You do not need to use this crease maker. That is not to say that this crease maker doesn't work. It's just that, as you can see, it was very, very hard for me to pull the fabric without burning my fingers because of the steam. The steam was kind of everywhere. And it took quite a few passes for me to see a significant crease or an obvious crease, but it did make the crease. Also remember that this is denim and it's harder to make creases no matter what tool you use, even with a clothes iron, on denim than it is on regular fabric. Regular fabric will probably be easier. Alright, going back in. I refuse to give up. Oh, the things I do for you guys, you have no idea. My fingers were on fire. Oh my god, I was struggling. Jesus. Yeah, this grease maker is not my favorite part of this steamer. I love the steamer, but nah. If you want to crease, just use a brush with the steamer or use a clothes iron. So after multiple tries, this is the crease we were able to make. My fingers were burning. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's it for this review. I have used every part of this, I think, except for the fabric spacer. I did not need to use that. But overall, I like how the steamer works. It heats up very fast, so you're not sitting there waiting for it to heat up, and it works pretty fast. For thick fabric like denim, you're going to need to use a brush. Press down hard, move slowly, don't move too fast. Use a relatively hard surface, and yes. So overall, it's a yes for me. I love it. I will not be returning it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next review. All right.